Thank you, Chairman Harkin, for holding this hearing, for your leadership in sponsoring the Minimum Wage Fairness Act, of which I am a proud co-sponsor. Last year, both houses of the Minnesota State Legislature passed legislation to raise our state's minimum wage, and right now they're working to reconcile those two bills so that Minnesota can join the 21 states that have minimum wages higher than the current federal minimum wage. Minnesotans support raising the minimum wage because they believe, as the Secretary does and as the Chairman does, that if you work full-time, you should be able to put food on the table and put a roof over your family's head. And I think the ranking member does believe that as well. Minnesotans don't mind having to work hard. On the contrary, Minnesotans are incredibly hard-working people. But what they do mind is if they're working full-time, 52 hours, 52 weeks a year, and they still don't see a way to get ahead, to move up into the middle class, or even to move out of poverty. And businesses in Minnesota get it too. Last week I spoke with Danny Schwartzman, owner of Common Roots Cafe and Catering. Danny pays his employees a minimum of $11 per hour, plus benefits like paid time off and health insurance. Danny says, and this is a quote, "Over time, other businesses will see what I have seen, that paying people more yields more for the bottom line. It's easier to recruit and retain people. Happier employees are more likely to provide better customer service. Lower turnover means dramatically lower training costs and better employee performance," unquote. Danny understands that his business will do better if his workers are doing better. Raising the minimum wage is about making sure that work pays. It's about the American dream. If you work hard and take responsibility, you can put a roof over your head, provide a good life for your children, and help them get ready for the future. Secretary Perez, thank you for your testimony. Thank you for trying to get out to Minnesota. We've had a couple cancellations. I know you want to talk about this and other things. Now, in your testimony, you discussed the purchasing power of the minimum wage has been on a steady decline for decades, and that if we had kept up with inflation from its peak in the 1960s, it would be 1069 in today's dollars. Can you talk about indexing the minimum wage to inflation, how that would impact its effectiveness as a policy going forward?
I think indexing is a critical component, Senator Franken, of making sure that the purchasing power isn't lost. And I've spoken to a number of business owners who have indicated they want to see indexing because as they plan each year, it's easier to plan when you know, okay, there's a 2% increase in the minimum wage next year or a 4% increase in the minimum wage. It gives them that certainty of moving forward. And so not only does it help address the erosion, and that's really, I mean, we've seen a 90% increase in productivity since the late early 90s, and we've seen a 3% increase in real wages. So workers haven't shared in the benefits of productivity and prosperity, and that's why indexing is one critical element of this bill that will prevent that future erosion.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.